Sticks. Good. Yeah, let me just focus on your eyes. Let me unfocus. Alright, rolling.
Hi guys, welcome back to the BookNet. Today I'm just going to cut to the chase. The book review I'm going to do today is on The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, which I assume I'm pronouncing right, but it turns out that might not be a big of a deal because you've probably heard of this book for the main reason of it actually being written by J.K. Rowling. I'll admit I had never heard of this book until it came out of the closet that she wrote it. But I love her. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm also a big fan of The Casual Vacancy that I read of hers. So it was definitely one that I wanted to check out. Casual Vacancy right here. The Cuckoo's Calling is a crime novel. It's based on the death of a supermodel named Lula Laundry. And I hope I'm saying all these names right, but JK kind of has always had a bit of a fling for unusual names and weird pronunciations, so I'm going to try my best. I called Hagrid the wrong thing for like years until the movie came out. Lula's a supermodel, and it follows her in London, modern times, and from the gist of what we get of her life, it was very, paparazzi everywhere, stalking her. People did phone taps on her. She was very much a public figure, trying to be very private. So one night she falls off her balcony to her death, and the police decide to call it a suicide attempt. Her brother, John, does not agree with that and wants her death to be investigated, which brings in our main character, Cormoran Strike. And Cormoran Strike is Private Eye. He's a pretty cool character. He's kind of a classic Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot kind of character. He's got a fake leg. He's a war veteran from Afghanistan. He's also got this kind of famous father who he doesn't have a relationship with, which is interesting because he's a rock star and people know his dad, but he doesn't know his dad. But Cormoran's a very cool character. Kind of a heavy-set, curly-haired looking guy. He's living in his office because of a breakup with a relationship, so he's very kind of sympathetic right away. And he's in charge of investigating Lula's death and whether it really was a suicide or if there was some sort of foul play. Now, obviously, I won't say the ending of the book. But it's a really good crime novel, which is when, if you've ever read any kind of Agatha Christie's or Sherlock Holmes, you find out the situation, somebody has died, and you investigate the murder. And you go from character to character to character trying to interview and hear everybody's stories and putting all the puzzle pieces together to find out what's the truth, what really happened. And that's exactly what goes on in this book. Cormoran, he interviews all sorts of different people. He interviews her entire family. She's adopted, so he tries to find her real family to see what kind of information they have. She has friends that people have seen but don't know. He finds and tracks them down. And it's a really great book, and it was really great for J.K. Rowling to be able to write this too, because she does an awesome job about just writing characters and kind of giving you the gist really well on how somebody is and who they are. And she got to do this a ton of times in the book because you get to meet so many different characters. And because you meet so many different characters with Cormoran investigating the story, you have to kind of get the description kind of quick at you because she can't spend too long describing the person because she's got to move on to the next one. And she does it in a great job. The story itself, the ending, everything was awesome. I read a lot of crime novels, a big Agatha Christie fan, and just like all those novels, I didn't see the ending coming. It's when you kind of think you do, and you got everything, and you know it's going to come out that a certain person, and then it's just not. And the person who it is makes total sense, but you just didn't see it coming. That's exactly what happened, which is great because it's kind of what you want from a crime novel. So I really enjoyed the book. I think I enjoyed it probably more than The Casual Vacancy, which Casual Vacancy I liked a lot, about a small town, kind of divided, wealthy and the poor, and the issues they had between the two of them, the two groups of people. The best part about that novel was also her characters. You just got to know them really well, and you really felt for what they were fighting for or who they were fighting against, and you just kind of felt like you knew them. Whether you liked them or not, you felt like you knew them. The plot in The Casual Vacancy, I think, is what kind of dragged along a little bit differently, which is why the characters that she writes work so well with the crime novel, because there was such an obvious, evident plot. So I think that's a really awesome genre that she's going into. I've also read online that she is planning to make, sequels starring the same Cormoran Strike, the Private Eye. And she'll be publishing those under her fake name as well, Robert Galbraith. And she said that she wants to kind of keep pretending that Robert Galbraith is the author of that book. You know, she was really excited to come out with a book that didn't have much press about it, kind of excited to really see what kind of reviews people were going to give her without it being, you know, known that she's the Harry Potter lady. And it worked really well for her. But she did say she's going to keep it under Robert Galbraith, and she's not going to herself as J.K. Rowling promote those books. Robert Galbraith will promote those books, meaning probably no one will because he's not a real person. But I think that's kind of cool that she keeps that going. But I thought it was great. If you like, you know, if you like the old Agatha Christie novels, before I read this one, because I knew this was going to be a mystery novel, I caught up on some of hers, and I read Death of the Nile. This is the most recent one I read. Probably my favorite Agatha Christie one is And Then There Were None, and that's a great one to look up too. So if you enjoy Agatha Christie, I think you definitely enjoy The Cuckoo's Calling. If you read The Cuckoo's Calling and enjoy it, I think you would definitely like some Agatha Christie. Tons of characters. Writes kind of the same way, you get to know them. It's a fast-paced story, and you won't see the ending coming. What else is there to do? Agatha Christie, she's considered like the queen of mystery novels. I don't know what the number of them is, but she must have written over like 100 novels. I think she's the third most published author, or something like that. It's behind the Bible and Shakespeare, maybe somebody else. She's just got that many books, and they're all really good. She's got a lot of main characters. She has like all the Hercule Poirot mysteries follow one detective, Hercule Poirot, and all of his different cases, which is kind of what Cuckoo Callin's going to do. All of the Robert Galbraith books are going to follow Cormoran Strike and all of his novels. So Cuckoo's Calling is going to be good for fans of Agatha Christie who like the old classic crime novels, but also it's going to be good for people who like kind of the more modern crime dramas that go on. If you're a kind of person who loves watching the news and loves finding out what's going on in the trial, and not that you love those crimes, but you are interested in the case and you like to see how they progress along, that book's going to appeal to you too because it's in a modern setting. It's about the death of a supermodel, which is something that is totally possible and definitely a story that one of us could imagine turning on to CNN for. If you like the definite modern crime dramas with, you know, the husband and the affair and all that kind of stuff, the other book you should totally check out, which you probably may have heard of by now, is Gone Girl. And this book I found from the bestsellers list, and basically every time I went onto a website, they were always constantly recommending this book. And the number one thing about this book is, I mean, you read it, it's so fast-paced, and whether you like the characters or enjoy the ending, it's not going to matter. You're going to be so enthralled by this book, you won't look up until you finish it. And that's pretty much how I felt with it. I started it, and then I think the next time I took my eyes off the book, it was because I was closing the cover. And while some things happen that aren't awesome and kind of make you feel a little uncomfortable, it doesn't matter because you just really want to figure out the whole ending and the whole story. So this would be great for somebody who loves modern crime, Nancy Grace kind of stories. More modern with like some history involved kind of crime stuff, definitely the Agatha Christie's. And to be right smack in the middle of the two of them would be The Cuckoo's Calling. So if you like any kind of mysteries, definitely check it out. So if you liked it, leave me a comment below. All my links are below for the BookNet. I've got the WordPress with all my reviews, Facebook with lots of information of upcoming movies, of TV things. Rumors around the mill is that Cuckoo's Calling's already been trying to be picked up for TV shows. Gone Girl's already being picked up for a movie produced by Reese Witherspoon, and I believe Ben Affleck is rumored to star in it. So it's definitely one you're going to hear about and want to check out. But all my links are below. Leave me a comment if you have other books if I should check them out, if I want to read them, see what's up. I'm always looking for new books, so let me know below. Thanks. Read. Keep reading. What did I say last time? Go read.